Hello. So I want you to look at this task 2 with me from Unit 1. It says, this task 2 response is based on a piece of travel writing written by a teenager where she describes her arrival to Benone Caravan Park. And task 2 always asks you to look at an extract from a non-fiction piece of writing, and it wants you to look at what the writer has done to create a certain effect. So in this passage, the examiner has told you that it's been an unpleasant experience for the family, and it's your job to identify how the writer has created this effect. So let's read it first of all together just for meaning. Well, here we are at Dad's favourite holiday spot again. You would think he was being sponsored by the Northern Ireland Tourist Board. How many times have we been here now? Too many. Too right. We arrived quite late on Friday night and provided everyone on the site with an hour's entertainment as Dad tried to reverse the new, bigger caravan into the space set aside for us, in the corner by the trees. He nearly hit one van. It took him 6 attempts with Mum shouting things like, "Left hand down, no, go right, right, stop." It was still hot, and it's fair to say Dad was at boiling point by the time he unhitched the car. The insects weren't helping either. They came out of the trees and made straight for us. New flesh, I suppose. After that, Mum and Dad decided we should have an early night. All was peaceful for the first 5 minutes, until awful music suddenly erupted from a caravan somewhere round the corner. Loud country and western music brayed from a CD player, accompanied by a group of assorted tone-deaf voices. I now know all the words to DIVORCE, and so does the rest of Benone and Downhill too. So what I would do if I were you is I would identify the things that seem really unpleasant and then work from there to be able to identify how the writer creates that sense of an unpleasant experience. So, well, here we are at Dad's favourite holiday spot again. So I would note that there's a sarcastic tone. And what's creating that? Well, it's this word again, and the dash. So we would look at the punctuation there. I would also look at how there's a contrast between we, which links into the family, and that's a pronoun. And it's an inclusive pronoun because it's including everybody else in our family. And it stands against the word dad because he's the only one who has this as his favourite holiday spot, implying that the rest of them aren't too keen to begin with. So again, the sarcasm is created in the next sentence. You would think he was being sponsored by blah, blah, blah. But I don't really want to analyse that. I can skip that. How many times have we been here now? Too many. Too right. I might want to say that. How many times have we been here now? It's a rhetorical question. And then I might look at the repetition and the phrasing here that the punctuation helps to create in the sentence structure. Too many. Too right. Again, it's a conversational tone. And we get that through the well and the too many, too right, and the again, all of those things. So you get a sense that the unpleasant experience is being driven through this sarcastic teenage voice who's chatting to us and giving us her true experience of what it's like at this caravan park. It says we arrived quite late on Friday night and provided everyone on the site with an hour's entertainment. That implies, and remember to use words like implies or suggests. It implies that everybody's laughing at them. And can you imagine what that would be like for the person writing about this experience? As Dad tried to reverse the new, bigger caravan into the space in the corner by the trees. And look at this short dramatic sentence. You nearly hit one, fan. Look at the simplicity of that. As you can imagine, the person's embarrassment knowing that everybody's watching them. It took him 6 attempts. So even the small details there shows the awful experience of everybody watching them and the writer having to endure her mum shouting at the verb choice and her dad trying again and again to direct. And we've got the contrasting left, no, go right, right. And look at the repetition of the word right and the capitalisation here, suggesting that the dad's still going left. Look at the exclamations. Look at the imperative verbs. That idea that the mum can't direct and the dad can't drive, and between the two of them, it's just an absolute disaster. And that's allowing you to link back to unpleasant experience. It's still hot, and it's fair to say Dad was at boiling point. This clearly is a metaphor, the boiling point, and you could also say it's a cliche because we've heard that phrase again and again. You're not actually meant to believe that he's boiling. It clearly just exaggerates this sense of anger, but the fact that it's set against the idea of hot suggests that the day and the daddy's temperature is creating this tense, sweltering, unpleasant experience for the reader. It says the insects weren't helping either. Again, this allows you to imagine that experience of being bitten. New flesh, I suppose. And again, the reader sees this physical discomfort and allows you to empathise with the writer. Well, if you know what it's like to be bitten in the evening time by little flies and insects, you'll know it's not too pleasant. So again, it's sharing an experience that we might be able to relate to. It says after that, Mum and Dad decided we should have an early night, which suggests and hints at a sense of calm, always peaceful. Look at that sense of something that was pleasant then after all the drama. But then we have a fragmented sentence. For the first 5 minutes. That's a very short amount of time to enjoy the piece. And again, look at the ellipsis here. The punctuation choice here allows you a moment's drama until we hear what it is that spoilt the piece, until awful music, look at that adjective, suddenly erupted. Look at that metaphor, or that metaphorical verb choice, from a caravan somewhere around the corner. Again, somewhere, you can't find the source of this annoyance. Loud country and western music. Not only is it awful, it's very loud. Braid, look at that very precise verb choice. It makes it sound like a donkey. From a CD player, accompanied by a grip of assorted tone deaf. Look, assorted tone deaf. Look at all these adjective choices. And again, they seem anonymous voices. You can imagine how horrific that would be, wanting to get an early night after a horrible experience, getting the caravan situated in a place you don't want to be at. And of course, the exclamation mark here helps to create that sense of horror. I now know all the words to divorce. And again, very unpleasant. And so does the rest of Benone and Downhill too. And again, the references to place would get across how loud these singers must have been. And the fact that the character knows all the words, or not the character, the writer knows all the words, suggests how many times she's had to endure this most awful song. Anyway, you go now, take what I've just said and try to put that into pea chains. Bye.